following is a CUNY TV special presentation.
This is the 13th annual Citizenship Now call-in. We originally created this call-in to bring together the talents and expertise of a great university devoted to the education of immigrants and their sons and daughters, with a great newspaper that has served so many generations of New Yorkers with distinction and purpose. Today, we thank our media partners, WABC TV, WXTV Univision 41, WADO 1280 AM, 92.7 New York, CUNY TV, and our tech partners, Cisco, Presidio, Microsoft, and the New York State Office for New Americans, the New York City Office of Immigrant Affairs, the National Association of Latino Elected and Appointed Officials, NALEO, which is helping us run the operation in Los Angeles that will be taking place simultaneously with this call-in coast to coast. The Immigrant Justice Corps, the Immigrant Advocates Network, the New York Immigration Coalition, and over 350 volunteer attorneys, CUNY college students, faculty, counselors, organized by CUNY Baruch College professor, attorney, and Daily News columnist Alan Wernick. We will do what Governor Cuomo urged all of us to do when he spoke to the Association for a Better New York this past Friday: continue working to make New York a better place. We will do that for all those immigrants that we help this week through this call-in and the follow-up events that are the hallmark of Citizenship Now. Since today is the 13th call-in, I brought with me a lucky charm. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. When President Lyndon Johnson signed this bill on Liberty Island, he gave me this pen, along with 150 other people, that he used to sign the bill. I carry it today as a reminder of the legacy that we share as Americans to help New Yorkers and everyone in this country navigate the citizenship and immigration maze. Let me now introduce the chairperson of the CUNY Board of Trustees, the former president of Yale University and dean of Columbia Law School, Chairperson Benno Schmidt.
Governor, I'd like to welcome you all to the 13th annual Citizenship Now call-in. Over the past dozen years, the New York Daily News and CUNY and the media and corporate partners here today have helped 136,000 callers who have sought information about naturalization and citizenship. We're especially honored to have Governor Andrew M. Cuomo with us today, the proud grandson of immigrants from Italy, who in all of his public service leadership roles has championed the mainstreaming of immigrants. Your father, Mario, also a great governor of our state, often spoke about his family's immigrant experience. In 1993, he wrote, and I quote, "The truth is that the challenges we face as a nation have not been imported by our immigrants, nor would they disappear if we could only succeed in sealing our borders for good, even if that were possible. In fact, there is good reason to believe that some of the problems we take most seriously as a people, from the decline in our economic competitiveness to the decay of our community values, are problems that new immigrants can help us solve." I couldn't agree more. Now I wish to acknowledge other immigrants and children of immigrants. Daily News publisher Mort Zuckerman, whose support of this partnership has been critical, was born in far-off Canada. CUNY trustee Wellington Chen, a man whose finger is on the pulse of this city's fast-growing Chinese population and is himself an immigrant from China. Jay Hershenson, CUNY's senior vice chancellor, the son and grandson of immigrants from Poland. And Alan Wernick, the CUNY professor of law at Baruch and a syndicated daily news columnist who makes this event happen, whose father and maternal grandparents came from what is now Belarus. We are indeed a city and country of immigrants. We owe an enormous debt of gratitude to all of our volunteer lawyers, paralegals, and other experts who each year help tens of thousands of immigrants who phone Citizenship Now to realize their aspirations. CUNY's effort also includes campus and neighborhood-based Citizenship Now outreach to immigrants. Last year, our outreach operations served more than 12,000 future American citizens, in addition to another 13,000 who joined the call-in. We make this commitment to citizenship because it is a morally right thing for a public university to do. It acknowledges the reality of our student body, more than 274,000 degree students and 218,000 adult continuing and professional education students who hail from more than 205 different countries. Most of our foreign-born students want to be part of the future of the United States, and I believe that it's essential to our country's future that we welcome them and make their transition to citizenship as easy as possible. I am now very pleased to introduce our partner, the President and Editor-in-Chief of the New York Daily News, a great leader in the coverage of immigrant stories and issues, a man who was born in England, Colin Myler.
Thank you, Benno, and good morning, everyone. I hope you can understand the British accent. I say that every year and never gets a laugh and shouldn't get a laugh. First of all, our publisher, Moore Zuckerman, has asked me to apologize for not being able to be with us today, but he passes on his thanks and sincere congratulations to everyone at CUNY and all the volunteers. Citizenship Now is one of the most joyous events in the Daily News calendar, helping families navigate their way through the complicated, sometimes impossible journey to become a citizen is beyond satisfying. As you have heard, this unique program, the largest of its kind in America, has helped nearly 140,000 people since its launch. This week, we hope to help another 10,000, if not more. And here I'd like to thank and pay tribute to the 350 volunteers speaking over 40 languages for making Citizenship Now the greatest success that it's become. And if I may, I'd like to give a special shout-out to one law firm, Fragman, Del Rey, Bernson, and Lowy, the largest immigration law firm in the world, who have provided 14 lawyers for the program this week. Thank you. Today in New York and across America, this free call-in is more important than ever. With President Obama's immigration program stalled in the courts, it is imperative that families are able to get the best and the right advice to fulfill their dreams. The Daily News is proud to play a part in that journey. It now gives me great pleasure to welcome Governor Cuomo to open the 13th Annual Citizenship Program. Thank you, Governor, for finding time in your busy schedule to be here today. So now, over to you.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. It truly is my pleasure to be here in what is really a day that is New York at its best. First, to the representatives of CUNY, to the chairman, to the chancellor, to the professors, to the students, this is a beautiful testament to what CUNY is all about. It's about higher education, it's about teaching, learning, but it's also about making a difference and a spirit of activism and involvement. and that is exactly what CUNY is doing today. So let's give them a round of applause for their leadership. We have our Secretary of State, Cesar Perales, who has spent a lifetime of advocacy for new immigrants. Let's give him a round of applause. And to the Daily News, Colin, Myler. The Daily News is a great journalistic empire in our city and our state, hard-hitting journalism, which is nice. In concept, it's nice, hard-hitting journalism. Unless you're on the other side of the hard-hitting journalism, then it doesn't feel so nice. So I have a lot of interaction with the Daily News and Colin, Myler, now that I'm on the other side of the hard-hitting journalism. And I call Colin once in a while. I don't want to say to complain. I'm not a complainer. I think it's more just pointing out the facts and the truth. I don't mind the articles, but if you look at the pictures the Daily News runs of me, look at those pictures. It makes it look like I have a big nose, bags under my eyes, lines in my face, which is a clear distortion of the truth, isn't it? That's exactly right. The Daily News is not just a great publication from a journalistic point of view. It has been in many ways the voice of the new immigrants for generations. That's what the Daily News always was about. It was the conversation place for the new immigrants coming to this city, coming to this state, coming to this country, where they could learn about the current events, the issues of our day. And they have done a magnificent job for generations, and they are probably doing some of their finest work right now. So let's give them a round of applause, Colin and Myler. This, what you're doing today, the volunteers, 350 volunteers who are here, the law firms who have helped, the professors from CUNY, it is the distillation of the best of New York. This is what we are all about, right? New York is the welcome mat to the nation. That's what the Statue of Liberty is all about. That's what New York Harbor is all about. That's what our premise is all about. That we open our arms and we say to people all across the globe, you're welcome. We want you to come here. That's our philosophy of democracy. That's our philosophy of what makes this country a great country. And we don't just welcome immigrants. We affirmatively welcome them and say, if you come here, not only are you welcome, but we will work with you in partnership because we want you to do well, because we believe if you do well and if you succeed, it's not just good for your family, it is good for all of us. So we have an agreement, a partnership with people who come here. First part of the partnership is a public education system that will bring you wherever you want to go if you're willing to work. That's why so much of what we do is we spend our time on our public schools. Why? Because the public schools in some areas are not as good as they were and not as good as they need to be. And that promise of public education said, you can come here from wherever, and you go through that public education system, and you can rise as high as your talents will take you. Chairman mentioned my father, my grandfather. I am Andrew Cuomo, named for Andrea Cuomo. Andrea and Immacolata Cuomo came here from Italy, penniless. They had a son named Mario Cuomo, South Jamaica, Queens, poor community, running a little delicatessen grocery store. Mario Cuomo went to public education, and the public education system made him governor of the state of New York, all from the public education system. Colin Powell, boy from the Bronx, rises to the top federal ranks, an international figure, all from public education. That is, in many ways, what actualized the American promise. So it has to work. That's what CUNY is all about. That education will continue. And the CUNY system and the SUNY system. That was a fundamental promise. And we have even more creative ways to do it. Secretary of State Cesar Perales, working day and night and finding new ways to help people come into society. That's what this phone bank is all about. Secretary of State's going to unveil a new program now where on a mobile phone you can get free English lessons. And immigrants can call in and farm workers can call in and just on a mobile phone learn how to speak the language to empower you, enable you to rise to the highest levels. So this is a great New York moment. And it is, as I said, the essence of New York. It also comes at a time when it is a powerful message nationwide. Because this nation is trying to figure out a number of things. We're trying to figure out how we have an economy that works for everyone. How do we get people who are at the bottom of the economic ladder up higher on the economic ladder without pulling down those who are at the top of the ladder? We're working through a lot of issues. And one of the issues we're working through is how we feel about immigration. And the dialogue has the full range. And there are people in this country, and there are parts of this country who say, we don't want any immigrants. We want to close the door. We think they're taking from me, that they're taking from us. And if we bring in more immigrants, it's going to cost me. And that's part of the immigration debate. Put up a fence, put up a wall, stop them from coming in. Because we don't want anyone detracting from what we have. That's part of the immigration debate. And a voice that is very loud and powerful in Washington and in many ways has stopped the progress that the president has wanted to make. There's another voice, which is your voice today and the voice of New York that says, don't be threatened and don't be afraid. And immigration isn't a bad thing. Immigration is a good thing. Immigration brings in new people with new talents, new cultures, and they add to society. They bring a new asset to society. They don't detract. Look at New York. 40% of the people in New York City were foreign born. 40% of the city, 20% of the state. We made New York the greatest state on the planet by welcoming people and using their strengths. And we are still doing it aggressively. That's the message that you send nationwide today. So you'll be helping thousands and thousands of immigrants on their journey to become citizens, and you're leading your voice at a time when this nation is engaged in an important dialogue. A more essential function, a more important function I can't think of. A more quintessentially New York function I can't think of. So congratulations to CUNY, congratulations to the Daily News, to Mort Zuckerman, who's a publisher who lives this message and has always been a champion of citizens, not just in this city, in this state, but around the globe, who need a champion. To Colin, Myler, do something about the pictures. They're false, they're misleading. Obviously, I have a tiny button nose, Colin. Thank you all very much for being here.
Another round of applause for the great governor of New York State, Governor Andrew Cuomo. Thank you for your leadership. Thanks to the Daily News for their partnership and all of our media partners as we help many tens of thousands of New Yorkers achieve the American dream. And another special thanks to the volunteers who will be working here all the way through Friday at 7 p.m., and we're going to have the best turnout that we've ever had in the history of Citizenship Now. That concludes our program. Now let's get to work. Thank you.